Good evening, everyone. My name is Tina Hewerman. I'm the founder of the Detox Divas, and I am so excited for this evening's call. I'm absolutely in love with the Seasons of Success collection that is so brilliantly and intuitively formulated. And tonight we've got a very special guest who is a queen of essential oils, and I'll introduce her in just a second after I get through the formalities. But this month's oil is personal power, and that just right there has got a personal power behind that oil, just saying it out loud. So I can't wait for us to learn about that and what this combo pack is all about. So let's start with who is Green Organics Companies. We want to build an extraordinary company making a positive difference in the health of people worldwide with products we proudly stand behind with a 100% no questions asked guarantee. Our belief system is simple and has been demonstrated every day for the past 8 years to always be authentic, ethical, and transparent without favoritism, while respecting the invaluable partnership with our consultants, a volunteer workforce. Alexandria Brighton is our formulator, and if you've not heard of Alexandria, she is a legend in her own right. Alexandria has over 30 years of experience in the Ayurvedic medicine, aromatherapy, herbal, and natural remedy world. Like I said, 30 years of aromatherapy. She is a formulator, an educator, a brilliant and intuitive educator who focuses on safety. She's the owner of the Brighton Institute of Botanical Studies. She's the creator of the Degenerative Disease Clinic in Mexico and created her own herbal pharmacy, which of course she would. And she has first harvest global rights. And what that means to you, the consumer, is her reputation is so renowned worldwide that when she wants crop from a certain flower farmer or farmer something globally, because she's so well known, she gets first harvest rights, which means you're getting the purest products available from that field. And let me tell you, this woman watches the weather reports when it's harvest time to make sure that what's being harvested is also of pristine value. My name's Tina Hewerman, and as I said, I'm the hostess and founder of the Detox Divas. I'm a wife, mother, and grandmother. My grandkids call me Grandma Rockstar. I'm a mindset coach and a wellness advocate for about 10 years now. I'm an author and a motivational speaker. You'll find me here at coffeetalkwithtina.com every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. So, as I said, we do have a pure plant promise, purity being the key word there. Quality ingredients always begin with pure raw ingredients. Green Organics Company's research and development team sources the most potent ingredients from all corners of the globe for their potent health benefits. Everything is manufactured here in the United States under third-party validated manufacturing facilities. So before we go any further, because we do talk a lot about health and detox and wellness, both emotionally and physically here on these calls, we do have to state that this presentation by the Detox Divas, our websites, or in any Heart and Body Natural, Green Organic, or Go to Sauna literature presentations have not been evaluated by the FDA. Green Organics Companies, Heart and Body Naturals, or Go to Sauna products are not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease. The information on our website and literature and presentations is not intended as medical advice and is not intended to replace the relationship you have with your primary healthcare provider. So we're going to be talking about Seasons of Success by Alexandria Brighton this evening. And the Seasons of Success can only be achieved when a person believes deep within their soul in their mission. And I know I believe deep within my soul, my mission here with Green Organics. And we do believe that once you try our unique essential oils and explore our mission, you'll soon see your life transform in many ways. And the Seasons of Success oil blends assist you in overcoming negative emotions and beliefs that limit you from thoroughly enjoying success and happiness. And that is something I love to talk about. So I want to introduce you to, and I'm going to turn off the share screen here in a second. Veronica Easterling Thomas. She is the founder and owner of Multicultural Aromatherapy, natural health consultant, and aromatherapist herself. She transforms the lives of private and corporate clients through consultations and educational programs. She's a writer, a poet, a blogger, a speaker, and an author. She's 20 years fibromyalgia advocate and 10 year support group leader. She's developed a self-care program for those suffering from chronic pain. She is a champion for Team Natural Hair, promoting 100% natural hair care products, and organizes anti-hair shaming efforts for people of color. Oh, let me stop share and find, there we go. All right, Miss Veronica, thank you so much. I think I reached out to you about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'm like, okay, I'm not a guru with essential oils. I can talk all day long about fulvic acid and black seed oil and some of the other products that we carry, but essential oils, I'm still fairly new with that. So I love to listen and learn from professionals like yourself. And I'm just so grateful that you are like last minute, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And so thank you so very much for that. I was trying to put together a presentation. I'm like, I'm not going to do these oils justice tonight. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and just let you take over, and we'll talk about the blends that are in the combo pack tonight. And I'm going to get my notepad. Everybody grab your paper and pen, because this is going to be very noteworthy in taking notes on what this conversation is going to be about tonight. So Veronica, you have the floor. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, you just really played this up to be a lot more than what what our mic can deliver. I don't know. Because this is totally unprepared.
Well, that is fine. We will just go with it. And I'm sure you've got enough up here that it's going to be just fine. And let us know why it's so important to go through the seasons of success, but also,
Right,
how valuable this month's oil is, because
right.
stepping into your power is so important. I always tell my team, you're not born with confidence. Confidence comes with action. And you have to be brave enough to step into your personal power in order to claim that. So,
Right, right. Yes, I absolutely love this company. I love the oils. I personally, because of the work that I do, um, haven't been that person that goes and do the business per se because of the work that I do, but I always use these oils. That's for certain. Um, we actually have access to some of the suppliers that Alexandria Brighton would have access to, like some of the distillers, but I always come back here. Um, and I love her formulations and her blends. And these seasons of success oils are just absolutely amazing. Um, this month, we were talking about the blood orange, and then, of course, the personal power. Well, I like everyone because I hear a lot. I look in the groups a lot, and I try to answer some of the questions. Um, and I see a lot of people have just basic questions about aromatherapy. So please think of those because I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have for me tonight. Um, but sometimes I see some of the questions, and then I would think if they would only go to the product information pages, those questions would be answered. So I like to encourage everyone at Go to Sana to please utilize the tools that we have in our back office. The product information pages are absolutely amazing. There are, when I first started teaching my certification courses, these pages were so good, especially for people who weren't experienced in aromatherapy, that I would actually make an ebook out of them and I would give them to my clients because it discusses the proper way that essential oils to be used. And that's a big deal in our industry, especially in the MLM industry. You want to make sure that everybody's safe. You don't want Paula to get in trouble with the FDA. And so following this information in these product information pages, they can, they're so imperative in order to, stay safe. Um,
It also
uh-huh,
creates a leader within yourself. It,
right.
you know that the information is there, and the easy way to be fed is to ask the question in the group. But in order for you to feed others, you've got to go and find that information for yourself. So thank you for bringing
Right.
that up, because that is very important. And there's a, like, it's not even just the essential oils. It is all the products. You should always
Mm,
go there first. So thank you for bringing
exactly.
that up.
Yes. And so I love this company because the thinking has been taken out of it for you. See, when you're an aromatherapist, we have to consult, like I have it blurred behind me, but I have over 200 aromatherapy books behind me. And so when we're making formulations, we have to grab all these books. We got to do this research. We got to do this and that. The thinking has been taken away from you. Follow this information and it's there. It's legit true information. Um, I love that with the oranges that we have in our line. We have sweet orange and now we have the we have blood orange. Both of them will have the same what we call a chemotype, which is the citrus sinensis. Uh, but some orange uh, oils that are distilled are phototoxic, but the two that we have in our line are not. So you can actually use this in a blend and you can safely go out into the sun unless you have some extreme sensitivities. You want to maybe give yourself a patch test in the inside of your wrist or your arm, like a thin area of your skin. So you can give yourself a patch test to make sure if you're extra sensitive. But for the most part, these oils are not phototoxic, photosensitive. You can use them in blends and safely go out into the sun. However, there's some oranges called bitter orange or wild orange. Those are phototoxic. And if you use them, you could get sunburn, you could get blistered, or you could get hyper or hypopigmentations. So our company just took the thinking away and took the danger away and gave us the orange oils that are safe to use. And so if you notice, sometimes the excuse me, the we like to notice the color of the oil. And that also determines the quality. And so if you've eaten a blood orange, you know that a blood orange is a lot darker than a regular orange. And so you can kind of note the differences in the color of the oil. That helps us to see that this oil is not a fake, is not adulterated in any type of way, because it will have the color that it's supposed to be. And so many times, especially if you're buying oils in the store or whatever, they're all going to have this base same color. It might be a lighter orange or whatever. But just take our oranges and orange oils and compare the two. And you'll see that the sweet orange is a little bit lighter than the blood orange. And that's because of the fruit that it came from. Uh, I love orange so much. You can use it in so many different ways. Um, if at first I was using it mainly in my cleaning products, when I make up sprays, or if I'm doing laundry, I'll get some baking soda, and then you can put a few drops of essential oil in it and make your clothes smell fresh. If you use unscented laundry detergent, but you still want a nice smell, or some people have put them on a dryer sheet or wool ball and put it in the dryer and to freshen their clothes that way. But I didn't realize the importance of the emotional. connection that you can have with orange, and how it can actually, um, most citrus oils are uplifting anyway, but orange can not only uplift, but it can also calm, and it can help calm the emotions, calm anxieties, um, and then uplift at the same time if there's a depressed mood. So it's so versatile. It could do either or. Because some citrus oils, if you use them too late at night, maybe like lemon or bergamot, it may keep you up, make it harder for you to go to sleep. Orange oil is not that way at all. It can actually help you get to sleep. It's a good oil to add to um, oils like vetiver or oregano, some of those really strong, potent oils. Sometimes they have this real big scent to it, and some people, it may take a little getting used to for some people, especially if they're new to oils, but orange can actually tone those down, scent wise, as well as it can tone down, um, tone it down when it comes to the irritation. So like oils that have a higher uh, chance of skin irritation, like oregano or
Right.
cinnamon, you can, what they call, quench the oil, kind of put the fire out a little bit by using something like an orange uh,
Okay.
oil. So
And
I mean,
so for the emotional part of that, how would you, because after I went live this afternoon and talked about gentle change, and I briefly talked about these and invited somebody to the class, and I smelled this and like I felt myself lift. And if you guys saw my
mhm,
video that I did, you can tell that I'm just like not my high vibe self. And now I'm like, okay, I'm good. So
yeah.
smelling, what do you suggest for somebody that has got some sadness or some anxiousness about them? What do you suggest then for that blood orange?
Right. Um, you know, I love making blends or putting it in carriers, carrier oil. The reason why, because you have a twofold purpose. When you put it on your skin, it's being absorbed into your body. But then at the same time, you're breathing it in. So
Yeah.
you're kind of getting two medicines for the price of one, in a sense. Some people maybe diffuse, and so that's only helping the inhalation part. But if you use it on your skin, because orange oil can be great for the skin too. I mean, look at all of these vitamin C serums that they have out. They or Yeah, I don't want to get into that because some people kind of, it's like or essential oils really doesn't have vitamins, that kind of thing. So I don't want to get into that or make people think or say that. But it does have skin healing properties, or it can help facilitate skin healing. So sometimes people could make a facial oil out of it, or you can add to some of the products that we have, some of our facial products that we have, you can add a couple of drops of orange to it and use it. And then you're using it on your face, but then you're breathing it in also.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you're like at work and you need that uplift and you just don't, I mean, you can smell it right out of the bottle. But what I love to do is to get maybe some type of little tin bottle. Some people have these little pill bottles that are like made out of metal.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some Epsom salt and put the orange essential oil in it, and then breathe that in anytime you want. And I actually changed purses one time. I think I can't remember what blend I had, but it was a blend that I had that I would sniff that way. And I changed purses one time, and I know several months later, I was like, oh, there's that blend that I made. And I was about to dump it out and make me another one. And I smelled it, and it smelled just like it did when I made it. So I think that that Epsom salt, it helps to preserve it, I guess, because it seemed like I just made that particular blend. But yeah, mainly inhalation. But if you want to do a twofold purpose, yeah, you could use it on your person and then breathe it in from there.
Okay, somebody just asked in the chat if sweet orange or blood orange would be beneficial for, say, women over the age of 45 and up when you get those hormonal shifts.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Because I'm in that category. So yes, orange is, I mean, it can help with it anything, seriously. Any kind of emotion. It's such an underrated oil. Some people think, oh, it's just a cheap oil, and they think because it's not as expensive as some of the others that it may not work as good, but that's definitely not the case. Um, yeah, so yeah, any type of hormonal emotions, yes, it can definitely help with that.
Fantastic. Anything else you'd like to add about orange, the blood orange?
Not really, but if
Okay.
you got questions, I could.
I think that's all we had on. There were a couple questions in there, but we can come back to those because they're more generalized. Should we do be intuitive next?
Was the now I haven't printed out the personal power. Was that the right
Oh,
one?
yeah, personal powers one. There's also be intuitive from
Oh, okay.
success and
I didn't
mental.
print that one out.
Okay, well, that's all right. We
So,
can go
but
in.
you can let me know what's in the blend
Okay.
after, and then maybe I can come up with something off the dome to see what why those were combined. But this personal power is amazing. Vetiver is one of my favorite oils. At first, it wasn't when I first started out in aromatherapy several years ago. Because people always kind of think of it as like a man's oil because it has like a more masculine scent. Um, but Vetiver is one of those oils they call grounding,
Okay.
and it's really good also for the emotions. I have a book here. When I was looking up some of the oils in this blend, and it has something very good that perhaps would see why this oil was used in this particular blend, and it was called Personal Power. It says here it promotes emotional balance. Vetiver is grounding and calming when you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, weepy, under pressure, and uncertain which direction to take. Does it sound like you lost your power? So
Uh-huh.
now you're going to gain your power back? It says it can help relieve distress, anger, and hysteria in both adults and children. But of course, because of the cinnamon, I wouldn't use this one on children because of the two cinnamons that's in it. We have the cinnamon bark and the cinnamon leaf, which is just different parts coming from the same plant. One may be a little bit stronger than the other and may have more chemical constituents in it,
Okay.
but it's all you're able to blend it together. One is more expensive than the other, so sometimes the least expensive one is added to promote or create a synergy with the other.
This is,
uh,
I just looked, it's a safety group 4, so that would be, yeah.
right, and it's really because of the cinnamon.
Okay.
And then also Vetiver can be a sedative. So sometimes if you're um, on medication that makes you really sleepy, you may have to use it with caution. You may have to consider the time of day you use it um, because it's really considered a sedative. And so that could also make it in that safety 4 group as well. But I love that it is pre-blended with the fractionated coconut oil. And
Mhm.
so that makes it a little bit safer. And I'm seeing, can you take it internally? Mm, I would not, because of the both of the sentiments.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure if vetiver is an internal usage oil, but see, here is where the product information pages come in. You do not see an internal usage in the uses. But when you look at the blood orange, it does have an internal usage in the usage. So if you're trying to figure out which oil you can and cannot use internally, consider the product information page and it will let you know if you could use it internally or not.
Uh,
But according to this information, it does not have an internal usage on this blend. And I'm not really sure about all of the seasons of success, but I don't think any of them can be used internally. Don't quote me on that until I can go back and look at them. And it's mainly because they're pre-blended with the fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated, I mean, if you're going to use coconut oil for internal usage, it should be the organic kind that you cook with. That you get a teaspoon of it, then you can add it to that coconut oil and you can use that for internal usage. But fractionated coconut oil, it goes through such a chemical process in order to make it liquidy.
okay.
And so we don't really know if you know what happens during that process. So that's probably the reason why there's no internal usage on the product information page. I'm
That
just
makes
guessing,
sense.
but I
That
haven't
makes
talked to
sense. Yeah.
all
And
of
if it's not
anybody.
listed, right, and if it's not listed for internal, then that is an oil
Right,
that's not intended to be internal because I have seen internal use on a lot of the oils.
right,
You're right. I don't think I've ever seen it on the Seasons of Success.
right. And then also, not only do we have internal uses, but we have the proper way to do it. And
Hmm.
this is where a lot of the companies get in trouble because you really can't just put oil into water and not expect it to, disperse properly. So you notice like here in the blood orange, it says to mix in a teaspoon of honey and then you put it in. And so all of our product information pages not only tell you which oils to use internally, but how to mix them properly. And because we have the sister company HBN, at the last uh National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy conference, they actually had the president of NAHA give a speech on internal usage. And they did a lot of recipes using root powders and superfood powders and how you can add essential oils to them.
Hmm.
And then you blend them, in your smoothies or whatever. And so this is directly coming from professional aromatherapists
Hmm.
teaching people how to use them, using the root powders to take essential oils in internally. So, and so we have all of the tools to be
Yeah.
able to do so safely.
Can you imagine how delicious a warm cup of vitality would be with the honey and some of the blood orange mixed into that?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that would be just delicious.
Yes, yes.
I'm looking at the ingredients for this also, and it's got the cedar wood, and then it's got what would be what would cedar wood do for? What do you think her intention was with the cedar wood in this essential oil?
Well, cedar wood is similar to the action of vetiver
Okay.
because it's also grounding and it's good for the soul.
Hmm.
And there's different types of cedar wood. You have Texas cedar wood, you have Himalayan, but this is Atlas.
Right.
So Atlas is one of the most expensive cedar woods. And it actually, as it ages, it appreciates in value. You know, a lot of people have that myth that you have to use your oils up really fast because they'll spoil. The oils do not spoil. If they turn rancid, then they've been adulterated with something. But if you have
Oh,
pure oils, they don't spoil like that. And there are some oils that actually get better as they age. And Atlas cedarwood is one of them. Frankincense, definitely patchouli. Patchouli can get better with age, and it can actually become more valuable in monetary value. Uh, so the citrus oils, of course, you know, they, because of their viscosity, they will dissipate a little bit faster. They last 6 months to maybe a year. But some of the more grounding oils, like the cedar woods, the vetiveres, they can actually smell better over time. And
wow.
so this atlas, putting that with, I mean, that was like a an awesome combination there. Putting that
And
with
I feel like the energy and frequencies of this combination too are very high. Um,
yes,
am I right on that?
yes. In the aromatherapy world, they call it synergy.
Okay.
And so what they do when you're creating a synergistic oil, you're looking at the chemical constituents. You're looking at the therapeutic properties, you know, because there's so many books out there. I could name 101 of books that'll have a therapeutic index, what we call a therapeutic index, and it'll let you know the different properties that in fact, they're on our product protection pages on the small oil when they say the single oils, when it talks about the different properties, and they'll say therapeutic properties. And
Okay.
so if you're trying to create a particular effect, then you can take several single oils with the same therapeutic property, combine them together, and it creates a synergy. And so it boosts the
Okay.
power of the oil.
Hmm. Yep. Much like fulvic does. Fulvic acid. It boosts the power of all the other products that we're taking. With this, let me get back down there again. Oh, I passed it. So with this personal power, do you want to do you want to explain like how the oil, the intention, I guess, behind it? Because I'm sure you've been in a class with Veronica on that. Do you know that the intentions behind the collection?
Not really.
Okay, well, I just heard this recently within the past couple months, and for those of you that don't know, Alexandria was really concerned about the people in the field that were sharing these products with others when the whole world fell apart in 2020. And she was intuitively guided to formulate this magnificent and brilliant essential oil collection to help people with the emotions that they were dealing with during this time of lockdown, people getting sick, the fear mongering that was taking place, on the fake news. And, and, and so this essential oil collection was brought to realization based on her compassion for humankind, her wanting to help us in the field do better, be better, and be stronger and more confident in what we're doing because she knows the value of what she's formulating. And in order for us to understand the value of what she's formulating, we have to be able to understand our own personal value. And so each of these seasons of success is going to come with a daily intention that you are going to apply every single day. And so, like for gentle change, I said a mantra to myself when I was tapping on my sternum, and we've got the aroma tap therapy on the dashboard. So intention that you will say every day for 28 days, because that's where your habit begins and you start to release, is I will embody my personal power from this day forward and use it for good. I forgive those who have taken my power, whether intentionally or because they have none of their own. And I forgive myself for giving my personal power away. I'm in gratitude for reclaiming my personal power and how it is changing my life. Saying that for 28 days is going to give you a sense of purpose. It's going to release that attachment you have and those grudges that you have with people that may have taken your power. I know I've had several people in my life that have tried to take my power, and drinking was one of them. Drinking tried to take my power. I've reclaimed that. And this whole line, like each month is built upon the other one to enhance and build. So first month was prosperity. Second month was letting go of fear. We've let go of the fear. We found the prosperity. Now it's stepping into your personal power. So anything you'd like to add to that part?
Well, I'm glad to know the story behind that. Um, my first experience with this line was self-sabotage,
Mm.
the first one. And then the other day, because I ended up ordering my letting go of fear, because right now I'm writing a book and it's on in aromatherapy. And if some of the people that I'm gonna have to present this stuff to, I feel like, ooh, it's intimidating, it's scary. And then I had some other things that was going on in my life
Mm-hmm.
that, it was just bothering me. And when my order came in, I smelled it. I said, oh, this is so beautiful. This would be like a perfume. I just started just slathering it on. And the next few days, nothing bothered me. It was all kinds of stuff falling apart around me, literally. And I was like, okay, I'm just chilling. I said, this letting go stuff really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't wait to start the next one.
Yeah, they are super, super powerful. So the oils in the Success and Mentoring is another collection that we have that complements the Seasons of Success. And you can use these together, you can stack them, you can space them out throughout the day, whatever you're feeling, and Donna has talked about too, what oil is calling to you.
Mhm.
I knew that gentle change was something I needed. Typically before these calls, I like to put on high vibe or joy, just to share that frequency and energy with all of you that come on and watch every week. But the Success and Mentoring blends are a little bit different. The profound and energetic therapeutic properties are far more beneficial than the sum of their parts, which is kind of that
That's it.
synergistic, right?
That's actually a definition in one of the highly used training books. That's what we call synergy.
Okay, and that synergy. And the question is, how many times have we told ourselves, this is it, this is the one, this is the time, this is the time I get the contract, I get the promotion, all of those things in your professional business. And then that hard work begins and the rejection happens. And sadly, we resolve to slowly start to diminish until our light goes out altogether. So the Be Intuitive blend reminds us to honor that mysterious gut feeling or instinct that often in retrospect turns out to be right. Be Intuitive lets you know it's time to come into your own power. Again, complementing this, which the way they put these collections together is so empowering too. A time of trusting your intuition and instinct. This blend can help you to develop self-motivation to bring success and leadership into your life, which we're all leaders, especially if you're on this call. It can give you intuitive awareness of your own personal power. You must try out your skills and talents and develop and use them to your advantage. You must stretch yourself and not be afraid to move to the next level. When options are whittled down and one is stuck at a crossroads, getting in touch with your intuition can help. So I'm going to tell you the ingredients in this one. There
Okay.
is thyme,
Mm.
lemongrass, juniper berry, Roman chamomile, tea tree, bay laurel, and then fractionated coconut.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, I'm seeing medicinal uses myself with this with this book. This would be a great diffuse blend. I would definitely, and I like the combination of the lemongrass with the thyme because thyme can be a little rough. When I
Okay.
first smelled it, it smelled like bug spray to me. And I would, and my mentor, she was like, because I had this like really bad respiratory thing, and she was like, no, you got to add some time to your blend. And I'm like, oh, I hate that. It's so awful. And so she says, well, why don't you put on some gloves and put it on the bottom of your feet and put some socks on it, and then you won't smell it. And so probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, everything that was in my chest came out. So, so
Really?
when I associate time, I associate what they do use. They prescribe it in France for pneumonia.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's one thing I love about these blends because they can they may have an emotional purpose, but then they can also have other purposes.
Mhm.
So I challenge you to look up the different oils, individual oils on your own, and
Mhm.
see what therapeutic properties they have and see other ways that you can use some of these blends
Right.
instead of just for the emotion. And so I'm not really, I don't have that product information page in front of me, so I don't want to
That's
say
okay.
the emotional part of it.
Yep. Nope. That's fine. That's
But
fine.
this is a great oil. I would use to diffuse when there's sickness in the home.
Okay.
Juniper berry has been used to clean the air. Same with thyme, lemongrass, tea tree, definitely antiviral, antifungal, antiseptic, analgesic, all of the above. I call it the dad oil. That's pops right there. Lavender is mom's, and tea tree is pops.
I like that.
And so it could do just about everything. Bay laurel is good for cleaning the air as well. Great oil to use in your cleaning products if you want to disinfect the home. Um, Bay, don't put it in your laundry because I used bay oil one time and it ate a hole through one of my favorite blouses. That's
Oh,
how powerful that oil
that's
is.
powerful oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to scroll back up here and try to get some of these questions up top. Um, let's see. We have, let's see. Oh, let's see. Everybody's saying hello, hello, California. Kimberly says Veronica's amazing. We're lucky to have her with us tonight, the queen of EOs. I feel the same. Where is a good place to start if you want to become a aromatherapist?
Um, a beginner's class. Most classes here in the United States are based off of holistic aromatherapy. The two organizations here in America have educational standards. You don't necessarily have to take a course that's associated with those organizations. I'm not because I like to keep my costs down. It takes about maybe $1,000 a piece for each of the organizations to list your course. So of course, who's going to pay for that when you get ready to sell your course?
Right.
So I don't list mine, but just because the aromatherapist doesn't list theirs with one of those organizations does not mean that they are not legit. But you do have to be careful and interview the therapist, know their background, maybe see the curriculum to see what is going to be taught there. They would not, a real aromatherapist would not have a problem with you doing that. I specialize in beginners. I think for the last 15 years, I taught beginners holistic aromatherapy. One of the organizations, they have what they call a level 1 aromatherapy with only 100 hours. But that will not put you in a status to practice. And really, what people don't realize is you can't really practice aromatherapy unless it's under the uh, parameters of another modality. And
Okay.
so some people think they can go and get a certification and go out and start making blends for people, and you cannot. There is no uh, regulatory standards for that. And so in order for you not to get flagged, because we can get flagged by the FDA too, even as aromatherapists or individuals, you would have to be able to use it with something. Good thing is coaching is allowed in coaching. So if a person is a professional coach, then they can use the essential oils under that, the aromatherapy certification under those parameters. But in order for you to be able to be good enough to practice, you really need at least 200 hours. And both organizations recognize certified aromatherapy at 200 hours of training. If you want to do clinical aromatherapy, there are some different standards. Most of the time, I think the organizations are trying to get it to where the nurses and massage therapists, people who have healing modalities that they're already practicing, to get into the clinical space. So if you become a clinical aromatherapist, there's much more education required. You're going to have to turn in more case studies. You got to do term papers, all of that. But you can practice aromatherapy under the guidance of another modality here in the United States with 200 hours of training and be considered a certified aromatherapist.
Okay. You just can't be one. You got to have something else with it.
Right. That's where a lot of people get in trouble because they in fact, I tell people that up front. Some people they charge thousands of dollars um for their programs, and then people go through the whole program and then realize their certificate means nothing unless you can practice under the parameter of another modality. And then
Okay.
they're like, well, why didn't you tell us that at the beginning? Before I spent $2,000 on this workshop. But that's why I let people know up front. I have like a whole Facebook page with free videos that people can access, and I'll explain the truth about certification. I'm probably the only one that tells the truth about it. The rest of them want to sell you the program and tell you the truth later or
I'll
during
make
the.
sure I include that information when I share the recording of this in the groups later too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
most definitely.
you can always get a hold of her too. There's people that are like, I would love to learn from you. You can get a hold of her. I tagged her in the post in the main group. So go ahead and, Jessica, I know you were one of them that said you want to connect with her. Just go ahead and click her name on the post where I tagged her, and you'll be able to get a hold of her there. Any last words? I've got about 3 minutes left, and I've got one more screen I got to share, but anything last that you want to just add in? I know one. What is your favorite aromatherapy book?
Oh, why did you ask me that? There are too many, too many. But what I like to do, because there's so many different types of aromatherapy books, some people just don't know where to start. And so most of us are here because we want to feel better. We want to help our families to feel better. So one of my favorites is Laura Cantelli. That's an author. I actually wrote an article for her aromatherapy journal about fibromyalgia because I plan on writing a book on that. maybe further down the road. That's gonna take me a while on that one. But her book title is in fact I have it here. It's The Complete Aromatherapy and Essential Oils Handbook for Everyday Wellness. And not only does she have profiles of different aromatherapy, different essential oils, just some general information, but she has different ailments. So you can kind of look up different things that you want to straighten out on yourself or your family, and she will explain it, have recipes in there. And this is the only book, this is one of the books that I actually use when I teach my workshops, because she is the only book that has the only book that have what they call a stock blend. It'll teach you how to make a stock blend.
Okay.
That's kind of important sometimes when we have like a whole bunch of oils and it's just a little bit in each of the bottles. So there's a way that you can combine all of those and make your own blend. So it kind of teaches you how to make your own blend using the oils that you have. And so this is one of the few books that talk about that. And she has like tons of recipes and the ailments, and also talks about the oils.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again for being last minute Lucy in coming on this call with me tonight, because I could not have given it the justice that you have. And let me get my other screen up here. So thank you very much. Very, very knowledgeable, very relatable. And I'd love to have you back on a call sometime too, just to share your brilliance and knowledge with us. And so I'm going to pop back up here to share screen real quick. And we are, even though we talked about Godasana oils tonight, I do have to mention, or get to mention, not have to, vocabulary is very big for me. I get to mention that oregano is the May Try Me Free product with Heart and Body Naturals. We talked about that briefly on the call tonight on how hot it is. This is definitely a hot oil. Antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic, and I don't know what that was. Antiseptic. Okay, there we go. Antiseptic. So lots of great benefits in this. When we do our parasite cleanses, this would be a great one to put into capsules with some castor oil and freeze those so that it reaches down into the lower digestive tract before they defrost, which can help clear the parasites out. We haven't done one of those in a while, so it's about time. So oregano is the free Try Me product for this month. Next up, in just about 6 minutes, Coach Marcus is going to be live talking about the business side of Heart and Body Naturals. That's the call tonight at oneteamonedreamhangout.com, and then password is go1team. I love Coach Marcus. He's such an amazing servant leader. And if you want to find out more the nuts and bolts about Heart and Body Naturals, that's a call you're definitely going to want to hop on and listen to as he walks you through the benefits of the company. And then, as always, if you are an ambassador with Heart and Body Naturals, I'm always looking to spotlight your leadership and your testimonies and your product knowledge on our calls. So please reach out if you would like to step up your leadership and be a guest on the Detox Diva calls. So with that, I'm going to end the meeting. Thank you all so much for calling or for chiming in. Please get back to whoever shared this with you for more information on the Seasons of Success collection, any of the Godasana oils, or any of the Heart and Body Natural products. So with that, good night, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.